So it's been around a month and a half since we've talked about police officer turned meme Maegan Hall. For those of you guys who don't remember, she was this 24-year-old Tennessee cop who had recently joined the police force. And then after working at the precinct for around a year, it was exposed that she had intimate relationships with like 4 or 5 of her co-workers. And in a lot of these situations, they were having these relations while on the clock, while on the job, getting paid with those tax dollars. And after being the subject of a lot of internet ridicule for both her and her husband, who decided to stick by her side after this whole story came out, Maegan Hall is now going to be suing the Laverne Police Department, saying that she was coerced into these deviant activities.
5 officers and the police chief all fired.
One of those officers, Maegan Hall, became the face of the scandal and the target of nationwide ridicule, and she's now filed a federal lawsuit.
Tonight, in an exclusive interview with our Nick Barris, Hall describes a toxic workplace behind closed doors and how misconduct spiraled out of control.
So yeah, she's filing this lawsuit on a federal level, which to me means she's looking for that big time payout. All the men featured on this screen have been fired, and she has also lost her job, and it's safe to say that she'll never work another day as a cop. Unless maybe she's going to some sort of bachelor party.
Maegan Hall was 24 years old when she was hired as an officer here at the Laverne Police Department 2 years ago. Her plan was to have a career in law enforcement. She now knows that dream is likely over.
Yeah, the dream is 100% done. Like the only thing she might be protecting and serving at this point is some sort of Starbucks coffee.
I remember while interviewing for the position at Laverne Police Department, they described the environment as a family.
Now when they said family, they must have been on some Sweet Home Alabama type shit. They must have been talking about some stepbrother on stepsister type of activity.
While I was aspiring to protect my community, the Laverne Police Department was not protecting me.
I mean, come on, let's be honest. You weren't aspiring to protect your community. You were having all these different joy rides on that community dime. Like you were giving out more rides than the public transportation. They didn't even need a bus pass.
By now, most of the country knows what happened. Hall, 4 other officers, and the police chief were fired last month. This after 2 separate investigations found that Hall engaged in sexual activity and/or shared intimate photos and videos with several male officers. The chief and 2 sergeants were among those implicated. Now Hall and her attorney, Wesley Clark, are suing those 3 supervisors and the city in federal court for civil rights violations.
And I'll tell you guys what, she's probably gonna get that money. No matter if she was sending out these nudies, no matter if she was using this company time for these inappropriate reasons. When it comes to the city, when it comes to the state, when it comes to working for the government, they're not gonna play about any sort of discrimination case or any sort of case where someone felt there was some sort of advancement made towards them. My uncle was just telling me about this lady. All she had to say was, oh, the manager, I could tell he was picturing me naked every single day through my clothes. And now she's sitting on like $1 million. And that's not to say that bad things don't actually happen within these organizations. I'm just saying that when it comes to these type of cases, they do not want to play around. And they want to get that person paid out as soon as possible in most of these cases.
Maegan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted. She was looked at as a piece of meat to be and exploited.
Since the story broke, Hall, the lone female officer fired and only woman on the second shift, became a target nationwide for sexual jokes and taunting.
Oh yeah, she absolutely did. I mean, this woman became the meme of the week. And I feel like most people, when they see this picture now, they're gonna know exactly what time it was. And I like how they're trying to like spin this all into some sort of victim story at this point, when Maegan Hall was quite literally a consenting adult in all these different situations.
I received harassing and threatening messages on my phone daily. I felt like I had been terrorized.
And yes, now she is suing. No criminal charges have been filed in the case. Hall knows there are those who will say she was a consenting adult who willingly participated in antics in violation of police department policy, and that now she wants to blame others, including one sergeant who targeted her early on.
I mean, I'm not saying that there weren't other corrupt, bad people involved with this whole situation. I'm just saying if there's an actual victim here, to me it's the taxpayers who have to keep allocating more and more funds towards a corrupt police force. And this isn't just happening in Laverne County or wherever this is. It's happening all over the country every single day.
Eventually I gave in. From pressure.
So it's not as easy to say she could have just said no.
She did say no on several occasions, Miss Hall tried to get out of this relationship, and she was not allowed to.
Hall concedes she participated under duress. She's not saying she was, but adds that the salacious details made public of sex on the job put her alone center stage and do not tell the whole story.
Well, the reason it put her alone center stage is because she was the only one to be involved with all the other officers. It's almost like you're playing on a basketball team and you're the point guard, okay? You're setting up all the different situations for everyone else, and you're also putting up like 30 points a game. Of course, you're going to be the one to garnish all the attention.
They isolated me, they shunned me, they accused me, and they blamed me for becoming a victim.
Hall suffered from depression to the point of considering suicide, and at one point was hospitalized. She felt trapped.
My supervisors worked together to take advantage of my vulnerabilities and my mental health, and they used it for their gain and sexual pleasure.
And that included the police chief, Chip Davis. The independent investigation found he was aware of what was going on and even received intimate photos and videos of Hall.
Because she was specifically a subordinate to many people involved, to me that gives her a lot more leverage in this case, and that's why I feel that she's gonna get that fat paycheck.
How could I get justice when the entire system, including the chief, not only condoned such behavior, but participated in it?
I mean, yeah, in general, I think there's a lot of shady stuff going on with the police force. And I really do think that that's just something that comes with all these authoritarian figures. It's almost like after some time, you have to kind of get this God complex, and you really feel like you can do no wrong.
I had no one to turn to, and I had nowhere to go.
Hall now realizes her career in law enforcement is likely over.
It's a wrap.
And she knows those ugly memes on social media will remain forever. Her reputation sullied.
No woman should ever have to endure this type of abuse.
Oh my God.
What happened to me during my employment at Laverne's police department, it should never happen to anyone.
It's just crazy to me that she wants to play the, oh, I'm a poor woman victim card. And you know, before all of this came to light, she says, oh, I had no one to turn to. I felt scared. I felt alone. And to me, the only thing I can think is, why would you not tell your husband and then proceed to hire a lawyer? Like, if there was really all of these unwarranted advancements being made towards her, especially from people who would be considered management, oh, she never had to step another foot in that precinct. She could have easily filed a lawsuit, collected that fat paycheck from the start, and never even really had to get involved with this whole scandal. At this point, I personally feel like she's just trying to save face, and she's also just trying to get paid. Y'all let me know what you guys think about this down below. I am starting to feel a lot better from being sick. I wouldn't say I'm exactly 100% yet, but I'm about 80. My voice is still a little bit strange, but I feel good. Either way, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. As you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some streets out here need to be patrolled, so I'm out. Peace!